Testing, testing. All right, Antonio here. Hey guys.
Nick Cashdollar is 0-0. He trains out at 3G Lewisburg. He's a blue belt. What he wants us to know is that he won his district in wrestling.
Standing in the cage in the red corner, Jared Long.
Jared Long is an arena veteran. He has one draw. He represents precision jiu-jitsu, and he's a blue belt.
Big support from Jared Long here. I don't know him personally, but I got to talking to him before his match. Seems like a real good dude, real down to earth. Let's see what he has to show.
Joe, it's not locked. Lock the door.
And they got going straight away. A little hand fighting. Oh, that's a nice arm drag attempt there from Long.
Jared with the underhook. Oh, Nick.
Right.
My bad.
Jared doing a really good job trying to retain guard and getting to the back fast.
Yeah. Actually, it looks like he might be going for either the back or an arm saddle here.
That was a nice little back take. I love that one right there.
Vern immediately got a hook in.
Yeah, Nick's trying to use his hand to push off the foot of Jared here, but...
No bottom hook, though.
As long as he keeps his head underneath Nick's head, he'll be okay.
Absolutely. That bottom hook is, though, very important.
Yes.
Yeah, because right here you'd like to see Nick just kind of slide his hips out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think he's trying to do it, but I'd like to see his back front to get to the mat. Like, at this point, just concede him out.
Jared doing good. Hand fighting there, keeping decent head positioning. Oh, he's losing it now.
Yep.
Oh, switch sides. That's good there. Head on the opposite side of the overhook.
Still can't tell if he has that bottom hook in or not.
Doesn't look like it from here, but I'm not sure.
Looks like his hand is on the shoulder, though, so he could go for, like, kind of a short choke here.
Absolutely. Trying to pummel that head to the opposite side of the overhook so we can get that choke in.
Well, I think Nick's going to be able to spin out a little bit. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, so you got Jared here is in this heavy mount position. Nick's trying to keep his elbows in tight, but I don't know. You see Jared just trying to get his hands to the mat, Nick's hands to the mat so that he can start to isolate an arm.
Keeping good head control without an arm isolated there so he doesn't get bridged. That's a good read on Jared there.
See, I'm also a big fan of like the smothers here. This is where I want to see like a good hand on the mouth. That's where you see those arms move.
Ooh, I love it, Julian.
I think I'd like Nick to show a little more urgency from getting out from the bottom here. He has opportunities.
There we go. Gives up his back though.
Doing a good job of fighting the feet to keep the hooks out.
Yeah.
I mean, Jared's got a couple options here. If he tries maybe more of like a double under, he can really try to flatten him out so he can get that other hook in, or maybe attempt to roll.
Nick looking to pummel his feet.
He's got both hooks in though now. And there we go. He's getting flat.
Yeah, he's got the hips in. Ooh, looks like he might have the choke in, but Nick's kind of turning into a more, so it looks like more of a mount position instead of a back take now.
I'd like to see Nick try to use his left arm to get an underhook here.
Ooh, be careful the triangle here.
Yeah, there it is, that top lock position.
The shoulders are clear though.
Yeah.
Good posture from Nick.
Split squat position here. Nick getting back on top, looking for a toe hold. Nick putting that knee into the hip, stopping him from regarding. That's one that I like.
There.
Looking for maybe a north-south choke here. Got to walk his ankle a little
Ooh,
bit.
we got a
Jared's going
buggy
for the buggy.
attempt from north-south. Love it.
Maybe a inverted triangle, looks like.
It looks like Nick's in a little danger.
Isn't that buggy? He does have that arm.
I don't think Nick really knows what he's supposed to do here.
Yeah, I'd like to see him put his hands more in the hips to kind of create some space, but Jared abandons it.
He just starts slithering down a little bit.
Yeah.
It worked.
Good head pressure there. Hard to get a buggy choke when your head's being forced down to the mat.
All right, now it's Nick's turn in mount here. Let's see what he can do in this position.
Looking
Heavy
good.
hips.
Isolate an arm, control the head right away so he can't bridge. Jared framing in the neck. Coach calling, swinging the legs, looking for that hip escape.
I'd like to see him use the fence a little bit, just like the last match we saw. He'll walk his feet there and then maybe start to kick over.
All right, time. End of round one here.
That's a good read using that cage. A lot of these jiu-jitsu guys aren't always using the cage because it's not something they're used to, but to use that cage to walk up and escape is a very, very useful thing there.
Yeah, we saw a little bit from both guys here. You know, it wasn't just all Jared the whole rounds, but
No,
you know,
go
when you
back
don't
and
get a
forth for
submission,
sure.
yeah. So now it's like they kind of know where they need to adjust going into the second round, what they need to work on a little bit more, you know, to hopefully get that sub out of the second or the third rounds.
Great thing that I love about Arena, that little 45-second break there. You get to get a sip of water, get to talk to your coach, read game plan there. Definitely different than a normal 6-minute straight-through grappling match. Love
Yeah, I mean, they call it the endurance format for a reason. You know, you got to be ready for this. You have 3 5-minute rounds with a possible overtime. You got to come here and change.
We're encouraging risk. Oh.
All right, Jared elects to sit here. Nick's just trying to just staple those feet to the mat and possibly just walk around for a guard pass.
Jared might be trying to think about the legs here. It'd be good for Nick to get him to his back. Cuts that angle, gets him right to his back. Nice little pressure, sort of in that J point, right back into almost north-south there.
I'm not a big fan of Jared trapping the hand there because he's not really stopping the guard pass. He's just delaying the inevitable. I'd rather he fight for an underhook and try and get back to his feet or sweep.
Looks like a possible north-south choke here.
Although with trapping that arm, he can then upgrade to trap the head for that inverted triangle he was looking for earlier. Shin mount from Nick there, back into mount, control the head so he can't get bridged.
Feels like we're picking up right where we left off in round 1.
As an arena vet, that is a good feeling to get back into working your game that you want to work after that reset there. I'd like to see him control the head, to avoid that.
And the goat hook escape. It's a classic Gary Tonin right there.
When I was a white belt, I thought I invented that. Until I saw Gary Tonin, I was like, oh shit. I mean, crap.
Was that a wrist lock attempt? Oh.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
A little something, keep it moving, open up the elbows a little bit. Not really controlling that head is Nick.
I agree. I would like her to lift it off the ground a little bit.
Absolutely. So then when Jared goes for that bridge, he can kind of negate that bridge with the head control. But he is now looking to isolate an arm.
Jared is also giving up his elbows a little bit.
Absolutely. Very easy high mount for Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, or that escape again. There it is.
Dump? No. I was hoping. Oh, it's a little side naked choke, maybe?
A little back exposure, but wrong side. Rear naked. Oh, there we go.
One hook again.
If he could look to hook his foot and hit that crossbody glide, that'd be very nice.
Yeah.
But he's not going for that. It's open there.
This will be okay with a little bit of half back.
Jared back on bottom. Nick in a split squat-esque position. Got a nice butterfly hook on that bottom leg. If he could free his other leg, There we go.
Yeah, nice pressure passing there by Nick to be able to use that pressure, then to be able to pass that knee shield.
Not bad at all.
Nick's head positioning's been really good over these last 2 rounds.
Looking for something on that other arm there. That far arm from us. Corner calling for Jared to throw his legs back over for that same escape.
Trying an Americana here. It's not a good position to try it from.
Yeah, no control of that elbow there. Slips it right back in.
Oh, there. We finally got our head control.
There we go. Oh, got one arm isolated. Back down.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see him go for more of like a head and arm choke instead of like this Americana.
Yeah. If he could really just focus on one arm for a minute instead of switching back and forth. I think the switch back and forth is good, but there's definitely a time when you just got to focus on one arm and really get that high over the head so we can start to attack.
I think Jared needs a little more urgency to get out.
There we go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The head and arm choke might be on.
Ooh. Steps out now. Sprawl on his hips.
I think you just got to squeeze, maybe walk out a little bit more.
Yeah, Jared's creating a lot of space here, from...
Answering the phone.
Yeah, answering the phone, but Nick is just still really on this choke.
I'd like to see him walk a little bit more perpendicular.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also...
Now we got a tap.
He felt it. He knew it. Yeah.
Yeah,
There
that's
it
one of
was.
those. It's one of those positions where you know where your leverage is going to come from.
Yeah, as the
it's
attacker, you can certainly feel it coming.
Yeah, like some guys can finish that head and arm choke just from mount. They don't even hop off to the side. Then you see some where they have to walk like a clock around.
Yeah.
It's I feel like it's kind of they only know where they're going to get their squeezing power from.
It's also a little attritional, right? Like you want to hold it there for as long as possible and just cut that blood flow off as slowly as possible. Don't want your arms to burn out either, but you're squeezing. So
I'd like to see, I'm excited to see how Jared switches up his game plan here. If Nick does get back into mount, I'd like to see him just focusing on one arm a little bit quicker right away so he can get back to that head and arm dilemma there.
Antonio, you mentioned it in the first round. You wanted him to see lifting the head a little bit more, and the second we saw Nick lift the head, he got the head and arm choke position.
Yeah.
So
it's like he heard us a couple times in there. Got to keep my voice down.
Yeah.
Giving up some sneak attacks.
I'm actually not very happy with Jared pulling guard again because his guard hasn't been able to really keep Nick away from him yet.
No, Nick looked like he was having some trouble getting good head positioning with Jared in the first round there. Jared concedes bottom.
Double under
Nick
spats
dives for that double under stack pass.
If you're going to sit though, you need to start to initiate some kind of a guard.
Especially being one sub down.
Yeah, it's like you can't wait for someone to come in. You can't wait to counter whatever guard pass someone tries. You need to create your own offense. You need to start locking in your own guard. Decide where you want to go next.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Tries to go for the leg. Single leg X.
Little leg exposure, no knee line though.
He can use this to get on top.
Back in that turtle. Good hand control, good wrist ride there. Throwing that far hook in.
Yeah, so since this is the third round and Nick is up 1-0, Jared needs a submission here to go into overtime. If he doesn't, then Nick will take the win.
Like I said before, I'd like to see him get a little bit more creative, what he's doing with his feet. He could turf the legs there from the back to open something up. Losing that back control.
Yeah, I said the problem with the way he's been trying to put his hooks in, he's putting himself really high on Nick's back every time. And the second Nick tripods, he's always able to knock him over.
Little tight buggy. You got that. I usually like to go for the buggy when I'm facing them versus facing away, but
yeah, it's also the option, when you're facing away. It's different mechanics, still the same version of a buggy though.
Nick looks real stuck though.
He does. He looks very stuck.
He's got a nice elbow in the face, which I'd like to add is a good defense. Very hard to free that arm. Yeah. Back into mount.
Yeah, the best way to deal with the buggy is just be real mean.
Yeah, that cross face.
Yeah, back on the head, back, just walking the hand up. I love that. That's like my favorite thing to do for the head arm choke. Just walk the hand up like the thing from the Addams Family.
Exactly what I said in the beginning of this round. He's getting right to that, isolating that arm. Although Jared is leaving that free arm high, I'd like to see him get it down to his hip and maybe start to bridge, kip a little, look for a knee to elbow escape, little something. But back in that head and arm,
Oh,
getting ready to tap.
we got a tap.
There it is.
Second tap. Right, second head and arm choke for Nick Cashdollar. What a debut.
Solid match there. You know, he faced some adversity in the beginning and then was really able to capitalize off of some of Jared's mistakes, if you will.
And your winner, via 2 submissions on his